Hello, guys. This is Shar. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. I wanted to come back yet again, y'all, and talk about Marsau and Letitia and something that Marsau said yesterday that I did not catch. Well, he didn't say it yesterday. I played the video of them going live when they were addressing the chick who said that, she had been with Marsau and Maurice at the same time. It was something he said about showing their life and showing their lifestyle on the show. And this was more so a shot at the show itself and the producers and really Carlos King, because at the end of the day, we know, even though Carlos don't really go down to Huntsville anymore, he was really boots on the ground, definitely the first season, probably the second. And then after they start getting so much success with being the #1 reality show on the OWN network, and, after the fact, he just wasn't going down there every day or, when they were not recording, but filming. And he's even said it, like, the only time I kind of really go down there is like when it's a real problem with the cast or something's really, really going on. I got to go down there and address it directly or whatever. So, daily throughout filming, he's not necessarily there. Now, don't get me wrong, he probably pops in here and there or whatever. It is his show, but I'm just saying, for the most part, he's not really there. But best believe Carlos King gets a rough draft of what they've recorded, edited or whatever. They give him the edited version to let him see what we're going to actually put out for the show, for all these viewers to see. Or, the lack of viewers, because we already know that the damn viewership is going down damn near with each episode. It's a current blackout. A lot of people still don't even watch the damn show. So we know that with each episode, the viewership goes down. It fluctuates, But what I'm saying is Carlos King gets a showing of what's going to go out on that show before it actually hits on network for us to see. And if he don't do that, he a damn fool. He is a damn fool. I don't know nothing about reality TV. And I know if that was my show, I would want to see what's going to go out on the show before all the viewers see it or whatever. So I'm quite sure they sent him a draft of the edited version of what they're going to play before, it goes out on the network. And he okays it or not, or says tweak this, change this, edit this out, or add this, or whatever. You know what I mean? So when Marsau, and you'll hear out of his own voice, his own words, you'll hear him basically sit there and really complain that the show really doesn't show their success. And, he says that you guys, talking about us, the public, only really started seeing their success is when they started putting it out on their own social media. Mainly Marsau, because, I do follow him if he hasn't blocked me. But, he'll go out to a site or a lot or a building or a house. He ain't never really doing much, but he'll go out to these locations or whatever. And he'll stand there and talk shit, just, and he'll say that he's doing this and doing that. And Scout is doing this and doing that. And we don't ever hear anything about these companies, businesses, hotels, all kinds of businesses that he supposedly, or Scout that is a part of building. But we don't ever see the end result. Where is the follow through? So I don't want to make this video long. It's just that I didn't catch this yesterday. I just happened to be listening to it again. And he's really going in on the producers. And like I said, indirectly, Carlos King, because Carlos King is actually approving what is going out for the viewers to see. And if it's lacking all the Scott's successes or wins, so to speak, it's definitely a reflection on Carlos King because he's not allowing it to be shown. But I don't think that's it. I think it's nothing to be shown because you are able to show this stuff on social media because you are choosing to show this stuff on social media because you're choosing to go out to these sites where, I mean, from what I can recall, go out to these sites or whatever, buildings, hotels, and you be really the only one there, to be honest. And if it is other people there, he don't really show them. The only time I see him go out to a site and there's other people there actually working is when they go out to the site for their house. But when he used to go do these videos, these lives where he was out at other sites like hotel buildings and all these different other buildings, and even this house he did, beautiful house, whoever house it was. I don't know if Scope was actually a part of helping it get built or whatever, but who knows? Because you never know with the Scots, because they make up shit so much to try to make it seem like their life is so this or so that. But anyway, let me go to the clip that I'm referring to. Like I said, I don't want to make this video long, but listen to this. He's really going off on the producers because they are the ones that's editing the show and basically leaving out their successful life.
We knew from the very beginning we were going to be these just regular old backups, right? Because they never
regular old
backups.
backups.
So y'all did not start seeing any of our success that we showed it on social media. And so the narrative is the only way we can steer the narrative is one, to appeal to you guys to say, hey guys, is this what you want to see, right? The second is to appeal to you guys is doing stuff like this live right here, which tells you the real from the fake. Right? The reality of my response to social media is we ignored it. We did not have a response. We kept pushing with our live. That is not.
Okay, so now he's going into talking about, how he's not going to be on the show and be set up to be asked about that chick. But did you guys hear him? Like, he is basically saying the production. That production basically is, editing the show to, leave out their successes, to leave out the success that they got going on. And I beg to differ. I think, if y'all had more successes to show, I think they would add it. I mean, even if they don't have it where they are actually, talking about it or whatever, I think they would show it or, show y'all pulling up to it, leaving it, or going to the site. Because if you guys remember, or can think back rather, in the early part of the season, and I think that's when Scope was probably really trying to do something, but when Scope ended up getting those lawsuits, and I don't know, I think they lost. I never did follow back up on that, but I think they lost that lawsuit against that company. I can't remember the name of the company. I think I did a video about it a long time ago, but when it was actually going on. But I mean, they talking about the show, Carlos King production, whatever you want to call it, I think they did allow them to discuss their life and talk about whatever businesses that they had going. I mean, hell, I can recall Marsau being on site of construction sites and him simply saying that Scope is working on this or Scope is working on that. You know what I mean? I can recall Tisha and Marsau being in their bedroom and him saying that he had to leave on business, leave out, which we know he was probably lying. He's probably going to be with somebody, allegedly, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know that to be true, but I'm just saying. the Scots lie so damn much, you just never know what the hell is true. But my point is, I believe when Scott was doing more with the commercial business, I think the producers was allowing them to show it or whatever. But lately, hell, y'all ain't really doing nothing as it relates to Scott, so they're not showing it. And I think these producers, I don't know if they're new or whatever, or it might have something to do with Carlos King is not really boots on the ground anymore, like every time they film. Believe me, I know he's probably a phone call away, or they probably get him on FaceTime or whatever, but he's not really there that much when they're actually filming, if because he got people in place that he trusts to carry the show and the storylines out. I mean, of course they have sit downs. I'm sure Carlos and the production have sit downs about the cast and what they want to see and where they want the cast to be, doing this, doing that, talking about this and that. But for the most part, I don't think Carlos King is there anymore because, like I said, he's literally said it, unless there's a problem. So, the production, in my opinion now, I think they're like, we're not allowing you guys to just completely fabricate, this, I won't say successful life, but I'm thinking production is like, we're not allowing y'all to just sit up there and completely fabricate a scene with a business that you guys have not actually told us that you guys are working on or a part of. Like, this shit just came up. He just called me or texted me and said, he want us to meet him at the Empire State Building. You know what I mean? Marsau ain't never told us that he was working on, the Empire State Building. I'm just, obviously I'm using this as an example, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, he calling them at the clear blue, like, oh yeah, meet me here. Let's film here. Let's film there. And production is like, no, that's, we just going to film you, at the Empire State Building, and you really don't have any, like, backup credentials to say, we working on this. We've been working on this for XYZ. Is this, is that. We've done we've done this much, that much. This is the work we've done so far. Because, like I said, in the beginning, they used to just have Marsau on sites where the building was empty. All the windows sometimes be blew out or just be an empty building. And he'll just say, Scope is helping build this. And I think production got hip to that, like, this is some bullshit and it's a lie, and we're not doing that no more. If you can't come with some paperwork saying this is a contract with the Empire State Building, Scope is responsible from building the left side of the building or the right side of the building or the back of the building. We've already broke ground on the building, what Scope is a part of. This is what we're doing, blah, 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 blah. We're there every day from 1 to 2, you know what I mean? Like, you got to come with some real credentials saying this is what we're working on, Scope is. Otherwise, we ain't showing it. And I'm full agreement to that because, when you get to completely fabricating things, then the show just don't look real anymore. And considering the stance that the Scots are in, as far as Letitia and Marsau, how people think they are lie anyway, I think the people who are left to watch the show would just completely bomb the show. And the ratings will be so bad because it's like you guys are just helping them lie. You know what I mean? So, they got to be careful. They got to be careful with that because they're not a likable couple on the show, period. You know what I mean? And you get allowing them to try to manipulate the viewers to make it seem like they're so this and that. People gonna yell at y'all, scream out, and at the end of the day, then they're not gonna watch the show. And you guys being Love and Marriage Huntsville people cannot afford for not another person to stop watching this show, or this show is gone for good, gone forever. Ever. Okay? You guys tell me what you think about my thought process on it. Obviously, everybody has their own opinion, but I'm interested in hearing what what you guys think about this, because you know he's essentially bitching that production won't show their successes, and it's like, what successes? Because if you go to the man's Instagram right now, including his wife, including Letitia's Instagram, we don't see nothing. We don't see nothing besides those old clips of these old places, buildings, and all this and that stuff that they said that they were a part of. They being Scope were a part of in terms of building way back when. We don't see shit now. So what is the show not showing? You know what I mean? As it relates to y'all's success. Marsau needs to get the hell out of here. Just want the show to help them lie, basically. But you guys tell me what you think. Drop down in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and until next time, guys. Ciao.